Onion rings. I love me some frozen onion rings. Why not? Ooh, I don't want to get us caught in a spot. Is there a door back here? Oh, crap, there's not. Let me let him come up one notch, and I'm going to just sprint on past him. Okay, we'll go ahead, actually going into running mode and then just kind of skate away from all these zombies here. Having rollerblades early on is a huge help in your mobility. A bit of a solar-powered vehicle here. It has missing wheels, but it does have solar panels that will charge on their own. So solar-powered vehicles are really, really powerful. This looks like an RV in front of us. It is faulty engine, and it has enough wheels. It almost looks like it's on right now, but the seat is destroyed, so we wouldn't be able to get in that, which is a bummer because I love RVs a lot. This is some kind of military vehicle. It looks like a personnel... Oh, it's a security van, so not a personnel carrier. It probably has gold or silver inside, but I don't think we really need that at this moment. Oh, there's a town hall. You know, I've never been into a town hall. It looks like it's just down this alleyway, so we're going to kind of struggle down the alleyway. You can see now that our cost for movement is higher than what it was because we're trying to move on rollerblades in, you know, in the middle of, on the grass. So I'm going to swing through here, take a look at that book, which was nothing, scamper out the window, and then jump into the town hall. Yeah, but so don't ever feel like you're limited in where you can go. It's really helpful to think about everything is mobile, right? You can climb over tables, you can break windows, you can escape a lot of ways that you know, any way you can think of, you should be able to escape that way. We're going to try to skate past this group. Oop, a little bit of a puppy here. Gave us a bit of a nab. Now, just because you get attacked doesn't mean you're going to get infected. That's very important to know in the game. So you can survive quite a bit of damage. In fact, your limbs will start to get hurt, but as long as they're not infected, and what'll happen is something will turn blue to tell you that it has a very high chance of being infected because it's a deep bite or something like that. Here is an electric bicycle. Unfortunately, it has no charge, and it's missing its saddle, so I don't think we'd be able to use that. But yeah, there are bicycles in the game, motorcycles, off-road bikes, tanks, RVs. I mean, everything you can think of, other than flying vehicles. I think I've seen everything in this game. Fruit leathers, we'll take some of that. Don't mind if we do. Ooh, canned chicken's going to be very, very useful. Lots of calories there. The cool thing about... one of the other cool things about Cataclysm is you can cook your own meals. So you can take raw materials. Ooh, a spring suit. Take raw materials and make them into better quality meals because you're adding different ingredients to it. So you can take your basic stuff and then make, you know, stronger, better meals that are more nutritious for you as you go. First step, though, is getting out of town and, you know, surviving. A hatchback here, missing wheels. I mean, we're not in any dire threat right now. We're not infected. If we do our @ symbol, we're able to see kind of an overview of Sarah's character. So Sarah Brown, here's all of our useful stats. She is unhappy. She's a bit chilly in her hands and her mouth. She is using the Zuiquan stance, and she's in a little bit of pain, but not a whole lot. We took a little bit of damage here and there. We are very encumbered on our torso, but that is not the worst thing in the world. Let's peek downstairs in this basement real quick. Ooh, some water. I would love some fresh water. This is the prepper house. It has a long hallway. There's some kind of random snake here. Sewer snake, I don't think is too dangerous. Let's see if we can beat it up a bit. We're basically fainting. Great, none of us are hitting each other. Okay, we did 5 damage to the sewer snake. Okay, hooray, we've defeated our first enemy. So this is kind of like a last man stand, right? They had a bit of a bunker here, some sandbags. This is the corpse of a human. The hilarious thing is there's always an M60. If you're not familiar with weapons, an M60 is a huge, giant machine gun. And they just apparently had this hanging out in their basement, and you can take it with you. The problem is that, well, it's an M60. It's super, super heavy. Ooh, a multi-tool right off the bat. A multi-tool is great because it has lots of different qualities in it. And I'll talk about qualities here as soon as I can find it. There it is. So these different qualities are something that you'd use in crafting. So let's look at our crafting menu. This is Shift 7 on your keyboard. So let's check out, I don't know, a random, something that actually requires some other level of skill. Maybe other? Here we go. So in order to make a makeshift hammer, you have to have certain things. You have to have a 2x4, a chunk of steel, or a lump of steel, heavy stick, or a 2x4, or any of these items. So if you have all those, and you have a tool with hammering 1 or more, you can make this item if you have a light source. Now, this is what that quality is. 1 tool with hammering of 1 or more. if we go back into the multi-tool, you'll see it has all these different types of qualities. So it, not really has hammering, but I think by just having certain level of strength, you have hammering anyways. Actually, it might be coming from our helmet. Are we wearing our helmet here? We're not. I don't see any kind of equality, so maybe that's not what's giving us the fact that we are able to hammer something. I think a strength of 1 will give you the basic ability to hammer something. It also has hammering 1, a sledgehammer. We could take this and wield it. We might as well carry it with us because it's a giant, massive tool of death. There is some tofu in the fridge. I mean, that's fine. There is also some ammunition here. A bunch of reloaded ammo. We don't have a lot of weapons yet, and I don't know if we're going to go that route to try to focus on weaponry, but it wouldn't hurt to have right off the bat. Pocket Survival Guide might be nice. These books that I'm reading, by the way, will give you certain skills. And we'll talk about books once we have like 5 minutes to ourselves. Ooh, this right off the bat, I know the symbol of it is a treapan. A treapan is a broad spectrum antibiotic, so it's really, really great to have early on in the game. This is what we could have given to Tatiana had she not had an unfortunate, untimely death. We were picking up some fruits and vegetables here. We'll pick up a glow stick. We're a bit full, so we should probably either, let's do 2 things. Let me go up a notch here. How do I go up and go down? There we go. So, I mean, we're at the edge of town in Newburgh here. So we could try to make this our first initial base. The downside is that, from what I understand, when you used to be below levels, below ground, everything above you froze. But now it seems like zombies will actually move upstairs. And I don't know if it's a certain condition will cause that or not. But this is a pretty decent base. We have we already have this stove here, which we can light with fire and have a light source. So we can craft things. We already have a bed here, a couple beds that have a pillow at least, so we should be able to keep relatively warm. There's no blankets, but we might be able to find that upstairs. We have a refrigerator that doesn't really do much, but I mean, we have a lot of areas for storage. There's a bathroom with some water here, so we can try to boil the water and have a bit of a source of water as well. Why don't we set up here temporarily as we, maybe this can be our area that we secure around us, and then we start to expand into other towns or other cities as we go. So what I'm going to do is set up a bit of a crafting area. Oops, it's a bit too heavy for us to budge because I think we're overloaded. Let's dump everything we own on this table. So what I'm doing is Shift D, pointing down, and then hitting the comma symbol to indicate I want to drop everything off. Ooh, did you hear that glass above us? Something's breaking. I'm going to go upstairs and peek real quick and see what's going on. Nothing right off the bat. We're hearing sounds here. So looks like there's someone inside the house here. There's also a fat zombie on this angle here. So if I press Shift V and do tab, it does not see us because there's no yellow exclamation point. But we might want to think about securing this house sooner than later. We're pretty quiet down here, though. I don't know if they can hear us through the floor. Are we making 5 sound per tile? Because we're skating? What if we remove our skates? Let's put our skates on the ground here. We're making 5. Yeah, we're still making 5 sound. I think 5 is the radius. Is it because we've got a massive sledgehammer? No, we're just a loud human being. Fair enough, fair enough. So what I'm going to do is grab some of these tables here. Oh, crap. We don't have the strength to budget. That's really funny. What about some... Can I grab this table here? Really? We're just not strong enough to grab anything, huh? There we go. I can grab some of these display racks. I suppose that's somewhat helpful. What I like to do is to try to surround a light source with crafting benches or tables or something where I can store things. I can also drag a chair here. And you surround yourself in tables, and what that does is it lets you sit still and have all of the items within your reach as you craft things once you have a light source. So pretty helpful to have early on. Again, can I grab this thing above us? The wood stove feels really heavy. No, I can't actually move it. Well, that's fine, I suppose. We'll just struggle with everything else. Can I grab these bookshelves? Yeah, we can. Let's go ahead and move the bookshelf instead. We'll use that as our store. I mean, you don't really need anything here. We could just lay it all on the floor. But I like to have some bit of, cleanliness to us, right? We're not a monster. You can see that zombie above us. You keep seeing that hearing symbol, meaning that there's something above us. All right, so what I'll do next is go ahead and start putting our items in certain locations. And I love to have everything separated out. You don't have to do this by any means, but personally, I like to have certain things stored in certain types of areas. So I might put all my clothing in a dresser, all the books in the bookshelf. But because we can't move any of these tables because we're not quite strong enough, I will go ahead and just organize them as I see fit. We'll be right back. So I've got everything organized in a way that I kind of like to have. So all my clothing's on one tile, all of my raw materials and tools are in another tile. We also have books together and things like that. So I've kind of just shuffled things all over the place at the moment. Now, oops, I think I mixed up one pile. I normally have a separate food pile so that I kind of know immediately, oh, lots of stuff is getting destroyed here. I can hear a lot of things going on upstairs. Let's grab this sledgehammer, which does 40 bashing damage, so that should be pretty easy to hit someone with. We're also going to drop off I think I'm going to drop off the duffel bag. I'm going to press this plus symbol on the keypad. This is sort of this in-depth armor clothing overview. So what it's telling us is that this value is your encumbrance. This is your warmth. So we can press the right arrow to go to the different part of our body and see from the innermost to the outermost how we are layered in clothing. And it'll tell you if you're doubling up, like if you have 2 belts on, it'll make you a bit more encumbered because, well, you're wearing 2 belts. Or if you're wearing 2 skin-tight shirts or something, it makes you a little bit more encumbered because you're supposed to put things on in layers. So that'll help you understand why you might be having certain problems. Now, overall, we're in pretty good shape. You can see here that we're wearing shorts and pants, so it doesn't like that. So we'll go ahead and drop our shorts off in the clothing dresser. And that took care of the encumbrance to our legs. Now, we don't have anything for our mouth right now. I think we can actually craft... let's go over to... Is it armor? A rider mask. So a rider mask would give us a bit of warmth. The problem is we can't craft because it's too dark. What we could do, though, is take a cell phone and turn it on. Suddenly we have light. We go back into our crafting menu. And we can craft the rider mask. We'll go ahead and do one of the t-shirts that are nearby. And what are we doing with the in-progress rider mask? Put it down and start working? Oh, we have something in our hands. So we actually have to put something out of the way. Let's put it down. And yeah, we've put the rider mask on the chair, so we're actually right on it. Let's wear it. And now if we go back, we should have... In fact, yeah, our mouth is not quite as cold as it was a moment ago. Cool. So that's where we want to be. Where did our fancy hammer go? Are we still have... Yeah, there's our sledgehammer. Let's wield it. Oh, we have a random can of corn. Let's drop that off in our corn bin. Wield the hammer. I'm going to turn that flashlight off. Let's go upstairs and see what kind of trouble we can get into upstairs here. Okay, so there's some noise coming from these other rooms. I'm going to go ahead and close off some of these windows by basically closing the curtain. Now, obviously, they're not all closable because they've been destroyed, but we can at least start securing the house just a smidge. I don't want to... Ooh, crap. There's a crap ton of zombies across the street. Do any of them see us? Shift V. So none of these zombies see us because there's no yellow symbol to indicate that they are hostile specifically to us. So I'm going to try to go down and crouch. I think that might help visually. I'm not really sure, but we're going to back away from the window. I'm going to try to... Oh, there's a zombie further into the house. Do they see us too? No, he doesn't see us yet. So I'm going to close some windows here. I think he's actually coming towards us now. He is. Let's take this fight into... Crap. That's not where I want to be. Let's move out of the door a bit. We'll try to rush past him. There we go. Let's bring him back this way. We're doing a decent amount of damage, but in a stand-up fight, remember you're going to start getting... a little bit hurt, whether it's ripping your clothes or what have you. So we went ahead and pulped the zombie by pressing S and then on his body. So he's not going to be bothering us too much longer. Oh wait, actually don't we have the mods on here? Active World Mods is unbound. So I think we've got the mod that prevents them from rising up again. He has a backpack on him, so I'm actually going to grab that backpack and we'll leave it to the side because we could wash that off at some point too. Right, so what else do we have? We have a zombie child in the house, which is kind of annoying. When you kill a zombie child, your character is a bit unhappy about that. Little bugger bit us. Quite rude. Let's smash his face in. There we go. That's a nice 25 damage shot. So yeah, the sledgehammer does a good job, but because we have such very low melee skill, we're not able to get a good solid hit yet. We really need to stop having zombies come in here. I'm going to go back to crouching. Make my way back over to this window. All I want to do is close the blinds, because closing the blinds prevents the zombies from seeing you and then aggressing on you just because of sight alone. Obviously, if they smell you, I think, or if they hear you, they'll come investigate too. Crap, we have a ton of zombies in here. Of course we do. All right, well, let's go ahead and say, let's start yelling. I'm going to start yelling at random. Stupid loud zombies. Okay, I actually drew a couple from this pile over here, so we're going to run back into town a bit. I'm going to run into the center here, shout a bunch. I'm just screaming in the middle of the intersection, trying to get a bunch of these guys on us. And my goal is to try to pull them over to a different building and then lose them inside of that building. So let's go inside this town hall here. And I'm pretty confident that I should be able to just go through... Uh-oh. That door didn't quite open as easily as I was expecting it to. We'll go ahead and go out the window here. Let's go sprint into this house. This looks like it's in the middle of being constructed. Sometimes you'll find tools inside of partially constructed homes. Alright, good enough for the moment. We've escaped the massive horde. There is a vehicle here without wheels, so not super helpful to us. I think I'm going to sprint up and around. Let me see. Let me check out that van that's over here. This looks like a meth lab, actually, or mobile meth lab. You sprint over to this vehicle real quick. No, it's an RV. I love RVs. Ooh, this looks like it's actually working. We're going to climb in here and see if it starts up. We take control of the RV. It's actually moving. I'm super excited. We have our own vehicle now, and it's an RV of all things. I think this might change my plan. We really need a hose. We need to be able to siphon gas out of this thing and take it with us. Is this a bomb site? God, I hope not. Okay, that's fine. Let's keep trucking down. If we go fast enough, they might lose track of where we are. Right, so I'm going to pull up right next to this, what looks like a fire truck of some sort. We'll stop the vehicle. Go ahead and stop driving, and we're going to choose to control electronics and turn off the fridge so that the electricity doesn't completely get drained. So we have 4% gasoline. We have a almost completely solid tank, meaning it's not been damaged, so we're not leaking gas. So we have a clean water tank and a gasoline tank, and we have pretty solid batteries. So yeah, I would love to set up shop inside of this RV. Now, the cool thing is that you can start siphoning gas from vehicle to vehicle, but what you need to do that is a hose. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to make our escape in this RV and just move outside of town. I'm going to change my entire plan in a heartbeat. There we go. So let's run inside. First thing is I need to do is probably find a hose somewhere. I think I can get it by destroying a fridge. There we go. So there's a rubber hose. Let's go ahead and go downstairs and start getting some of our items here. We might have to shuffle. Well, actually, if I wear all the backpacks I have, I think we should be able to grab everything. So let's wear the duffel bag. Wear the filthy backpack as well. Can we wear like a crap ton of backpack? I think we're wearing everything we can get. If we do the advanced / here, it's like kind of the advanced item or location system. I don't know what this is called. Advanced inventory. You can basically change what tile you're looking at and move them from tile to tile. So I can press I to look at my inventory, and I can press A to, you can tab between them, by the way. A is the surrounding area, so I want to move everything into my inventory, so I'm going to press space, or comma. I'm trying to pick up as much as possible. We didn't quite get everything. We left behind some shirts and things like that. So, is there anything we can drop, by the way, that I didn't mean to grab? Like maybe a bunch of nope, nothing that's too heavy. So, oh, you know what? I did grab a log. Let's drop the log off. We don't need the log. That's affecting our weight. So we're actually carrying a bit too much in weight. So I think now I should be able to grab the rest of our goods. In fact, yes. And let's grab all of our medicine here. That should all... Oh, we're a little bit overweight here. Let's leave behind... Let's take everything. Let's go ahead and drop off one particular heavy item. What would be a heavy thing? These all seem useful. Let's drop that 2x4. That might free up the weight. Yep. Okay, so we're basically just struggling under this load of 100 pounds or so. Sarah's going to run upstairs here, or walk upstairs calmly, because Sarah is calm. Ah, there's a zombie outside, so we're going to try to sprint past these guys. Shoot, I actually need to take them out, or get rid of them somehow. Let's see. I think if I drop my backpack, everything's going to fall out. Without me really having to do much. I didn't want to bring the fight in here. Let's get them outside. Come on, you buggers. Come on, get out of here. There we go. They can and will destroy your vehicle, so you want to be a little bit careful about where you let the zombies in the vehicle. Holy crap. It's a heck of a shot. Been a little bit grabbed there. I don't want to fight too many at once. I normally try to attack, step back a couple feet, things like that. Yeah, kills that one. And now I'll just go toe-to-toe with this guy. I'm a little bit more confident about just standing straight up to a zombie and getting in a big stuck-in fight because we have some antibiotics and disinfectant. Right, so everything we own is sitting here in a trunk of this vehicle. So it's all right there on the floor. Let me go into this, I think, examine vehicle, right? So here's the trunk. It's filled with 45 out of 162. So the trunk has tons and tons of space. So everything we own is in this van, or in this RV spot. Let's grab that. Oh, we saw some stuff in our inventory. Let's go ahead and drop the rest of the items in our inventory. We need to... Was that enough? Did I go overboard at all? I don't know what happens when you exceed the volume of a trunk, but I assume maybe some of it gets spilled out a bit. Let's grab this rubber hose, and what I need to do is relocate our vehicle just a bit. We need to move a little bit closer. Ooh, let's stop here. This vehicle might have... We'll just let go of the controls. This vehicle might have some gas in it. Yep, the hatchback has gasoline, so we'll do examine on this vehicle. We'll press S to siphon, and we're going to say we're going to siphon this into the nearby RV, and we're going to repeat the process with the other tank, because I think this is the one that actually had stuff in it. There we go. So we got a bit more gasoline. Remember that the RV tank is going to be a lot more volume than a normal vehicle. Get a little bit closer here. There we go. All you need to do is have one tile between you and your target vehicle, because you're basically the connection point between one vehicle and another. So, siphon from the gasoline tank into the RV. That's going to be another 4% of gasoline. Awesome. Or that vehicle's gasoline. There are some other vehicles here and there, but I don't want to get close to the zombie horde. Since we're not really being bothered, let's go ahead and turn off the engine by using stop driving. I'm going to check out some of these houses real quick, and I'm going to grab my... I think we actually left it on the ground. I'm going to grab the duffel bag. We're also going to wear the rollerblades again, so move a little bit faster. Just since we're right here, and I feel pretty secure, I'm going to go ahead and just try to check out some more, just in case there's any more books or any more food that we might be interested in. Always good to try to grab as much as you can before you leave. Yeah, So What? Clothing is a really, really great book that can teach you how to repair clothing. And eventually you get good enough that you can make your own, I believe. What the hell are you? A broken cyborg, a robot body with the head of a human. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. Let's close that door and just get out of here. I don't know what a broken cyborg can do to us, if they're lethal or not. We're going to take this canned beans and the funnel. Marshmallows, flour. I don't think we need that grill. Apple cider. Yeah, all this stuff is really helpful to us. Take some aspirin here. Robe, collar pin, nothing else of interest. All right, let's jet outside. Ooh, some more tools. We'll take the hammer and screwdriver set. That's actually really exciting to find. Otherwise, I think... Are we still walking here? Yeah, we're still walking. There's a zombie in this house to the south, which I think we should be able to dodge without too many issues. Have we been in this house before? I feel like I remember seeing this spring suit. I think we were. Let's go ahead and smash our way out of here. Crap, I got a bit stuck. Let's go back to sprinting. I didn't see them around the corner. All right, we're going to get into our RV, folks, and we're going to head out of here. This might be a great spot to wrap up the episode as Sarah Brown makes her great escape out of the town, or the towns of Pulteney and Newburgh. So we're going to drive the vehicle straight out of town here. By the way, I don't think we covered vehicles too much. This is my target speed, so I can increase it or decrease it with the arrow keys or the keypad. And as you press the number 5 key, you pass a turn. So when you pass a turn, your vehicle will continue to move. Ooh, there's a... It looks like there's actually another town. Or is this a random railway station? Is this secure? I mean, I like the fact that there's a fence here. It's funny because it's a random railway station. I don't know, maybe it's a railway that goes into the ground, you know, kind of it comes up like a subway, but it kind of looks relatively empty. There are some vending machines here. Do we have any cash cards? I don't know if we grabbed any cash cards here and there. We may not need to stay here, though. I mean, we have our bed inside the RV, so for the most part, we're fairly secure. We're outside of town. This wouldn't be a bad place to hole up and maybe kind of get a sense of where we are if we look at our stats. We're feeling pretty good, and we're pretty healthy, so it's not like we have to rush to do any resting here. And in this area, I mean, it seems like it's pretty safe. We could either stay here, or we could wind up maybe doing a little bit of crafting for a few minutes. Maybe that's what we'll do to wrap things up on this episode. I'm going to go through the railway station real quick and find out if there's anything useful here, and then maybe we'll craft a few things to help us get into the next area. Let's turn the vehicle off. So that should be okay in terms of where we're at with fuel, right? We've got the battery, of course, will go up because we have a working alternator, I believe, and we have enough fuel. Hopefully get us around a little bit. Now, we're not exactly in, great spot. The cool thing about Cataclysm is that a lot of the buildings that you would normally find in the world are operational, right? So if you find a gas station, you will be able to refuel your vehicle if you have money in the form of a cash card. So we can fill things up again. We can keep going there. This is let me check and see real quick. I could have sworn that I picked up a charge card at some point. Can I just do, is it cash? Let me search for card. Cardboard box. So we actually didn't pick up any cash cards. How rude. Let me close the door. By the way, you see this giant hole in the side of the RV indicates that that particular frame has been damaged. I think it's going to be, is this one completely destroyed? I believe this is the one we're looking at. The one that, see how it's like a purple and a period? That seems to indicate that it's pretty damaged on that area. We could repair it, and I believe to repair it, the first thing about doing repair, you have to be on the tile you're looking at, right? So if we want to work on this roof, we have to be first on the tile, then we have to go down to it. So in the same vein, let's go down to the frame here. To repair the frame, we need to know a little bit about mechanics, and then mostly just have to have, it looks like a torch with, or pretty much any of these. They're all OR commands, right? So something that protects us from glare, and then a welder. And we can repair some of the damage. The cool thing is we also can completely remove the frame, and then we could install something new, right? So if we're looking at doing, let's see, can I search for frame only? No, is it, maybe it's going to be under wall? What would it be under? It might be plate. I think it's actually plating. There it is. So we can put in hard plating, will partially protect other components of the same from damage, or on the same frame from damage, things like that. So we can add a ton. I mean, there's like bone in here, there's diamond. I don't even know how we're going to be able to find that, but it's just cool that you can customize these vehicles however you want. So by and large, I mean, we have a fridge, we have a stove right now, a hot plate. Actually, I believe we have a hot plate. Yep. We can fill a container with water from the water tank. So we have a self-contained base. It's really not the, where we want it to be yet, but it can be very, very strong. And we also can add on solar panels to the vehicle to automatically generate battery power so that we can keep our refrigerator on longer, different stuff like that. So I can't get into the vending machine, although it's pretty much just going to be junk food, I think. Is this the subway system here? I don't think I really explored this. Let me turn safe mode on, make sure that I don't run into anything horrible. Was this across the way then? Okay, so this is just something that's another area across the railroad tracks. It's really funny that the railroad just kind of stops here. I don't know if that's something that's in development. Maybe they were just trying to procedurally, test procedurally generating the railroad, but I could see it being something that extends off and it's a quicker mode of transport down the road. So either way, pretty cool that they even have it in yet, or in the thought, if nothing else. So this was a bit of a two-parter for our opening episode, and I'm going to split this in half just because it went a little bit longer than I normally like. So I hope you enjoyed this, the first few episodes of Cataclysm and Sarah Brown as she tries to survive the apocalypse. We're going to focus on getting Sarah to a more comfortable spot, maybe doing a bit of reading, right? We do have some books in here, so I can probably try to do a bit of reading to see if we can't get some skill points here while we're just chilling out. It is about 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so this might be a nice safe place to hole up for the night and do a little bit of reading, do a little bit of crafting. So I'll probably start some of that next episode, and maybe we'll get ourselves a bit of a nap and drive around to the other side of Pulteney and try to do some late night raiding. If you liked this episode, go ahead and hit the like button either on this video or the one before it, and this helps me to kind of get a feel for if you're a fan, if viewers are a fan of this series, or if you're not a fan of this series. Obviously, we are a variety channel, so there's going to be tons of different styles of gameplay. So this is your first, if this is your first roguelike experience, I hope you've enjoyed it. It's really great to make your own adventure, to have your own story, and we're going to be trying to continue Sarah Brown's story of adventure from here on out. If you'd like to join our community, we have a Discord link in the Read More section below. If you'd like to support me as a creator, I also have a Patreon link in the Read More description below as well. Thank you all so much for joining me for this one, and I'll see you again next time.